Thank you, Deejay. This video is Numi approved because you took an L. Yay! I'm so sorry. I've been gone. I did get into a little bit of an accident. You know, vibes, type shit for real. I know a lot of people have questions, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell the story. Before you guys ask, the accident was my own fault, and it was in a very controlled area at the place, the MSF course. So I was at a course for training to learn how to ride a motorcycle with my automatic. And what ended up happening was the first day went fine. First day was good. Me and Hami slayed that shit down, and then we had one more day before we could get our certificate endorsement. So then all we would have to do is take the written exam at the DMV, and then we'd get our license. I was doing so good before this. I was doing good on my turns. I was feeling free. I was going fast, and I felt excited for the next part. And the next part was just braking at a stop sign. The guy that was our instructor, he was so fucking cool. He was really nice. He's European, and so his English sometimes was a little bit difficult to understand, and so I misunderstood them a couple times, and had to ask Hami to explain what we were supposed to do, just to make sure I was doing it right. And we were going to go to the stop part. It was my turn, and then he's like, you just want to make sure you're going more slow and like hold the thing a little harder, right? And so I misinterpreted that as grab the brake really hard, which is what you are not supposed to do. And he said, but don't worry, if anything happens, I will catch you. And I said, period, ha. So I go around again, and I'm going fast, and then I slow to a stop. I was going around 8 to 10 miles an hour, I would say. And then I held the brakes, but I held it too hard, and it caused the front tire wheel to lock. And if your tire locks, it's GG's pretty much. Yep, it's a classic mistake that I did. And so I hear that, and then all of a sudden everything was going sideways. And then I was like, ooh, it's so over for me. And it happened quite fast. But as I'm falling over, I look up, and I see him trying to catch me. And I was like, wow, he really meant it. He was gonna try to catch, and then I fall. I fell onto my side just like this. I was like that. And I had a big helmet on, and a flannel, man. I had a fucking flannel on. And then I hit the ground, and then he tried to stop the car, the bike. And then he ended up like kind of grabbing it, and then it fell on his foot. And so he was like, ah! And I was like, ooh. And he's like, oh. And I was like, are you okay? And he's like, are you okay? And then I stood up, and I was like, well, I'm fine. And he's like, it fell on my feet. Ah! And then we both like turn around, and then we see Hami with her bike also on the floor, and her looking at me like I died. She's like, and then he's like pointing, and he's like, look at your friend, she fell, her bike fell too. And I was like, And then they stopped everybody's bikes, and the other instructor came over, and they're like, you okay? You need like an ambulance or like 911? But honestly, at the time, I think it was adrenaline, but I was like, no, I'm fine. Don't call anybody. Also, when you have healthcare, and they bring the wrong ambulance, they'll charge you for that shit. And I did not want to pay for an ambulance if it wasn't covered by my health insurance. And so I was like, I can walk there myself. And so I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. And, I mean, I just felt like there was a little bit of pain on my hip and my shoulder, but my head was fine, and I felt okay. And so me and Hami had to fill out an incident form. I had to fill it out, and then Hami had to fill it out because she dropped her bike because she was worried about me, and I did fall in style. The thing is, I wouldn't risk calling an ambulance unless I couldn't stand up. Like, obviously, if I'm like dead as shit, I would be like, yeah, call them, I'll risk it. But like, I could walk and stuff, so I was like, fine. And then I was like talking to them, and I was like crying because I felt so bad for the other guy. I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, are you okay? No, it's okay. And I was like, but your feet. And he was like, I'm okay. And then like I called my dad and I was like, Dad, do you think I should go to like urgent care? I drug you into the girl. Nurse John was down the street. I was like, girl, should you take me? And she's like, just have Hami check to see if you have a concussion. It's a rite of passage to drop your bike. Best get it done early. I know, right? I was like, well, at least it happened here, and I know not to fuck up like that anyway. No, Nurse John was just down the street or something. I don't know what she was doing that day, but I saw she was down the street. But yeah, I was like, okay. And then I took off my flannel and there was just a little cut. But then the guy was like, oh, shit, we have to write that down. And then they wrote it down. And then I called my dad and I was like, Dad, do you think I should like go to the doctor? He's like, well, do you feel like you have a concussion? I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, no, I think you're good. And I was like, okay. And then like I asked the instructors, they're like, do you guys think I should go to the hospital? And then they were like, I mean, how do you feel? I'm like, I feel fine, I guess. And then he was like, they were like, okay, well, maybe just rest today, and if you feel any worse tomorrow or something, then you can go. And then I was like, okay. And so I asked Nurse Chan, and then when Hami was like doing the little checkup to see if I had a concussion, she was like, nothing. And I was like, no, I feel fine. And then she was like, okay, well, just have somebody monitor you. I was like, all right, bet. And so I went back home, and then I played Fields of Mystria, and then I fell asleep for like 3 hours. Yeah, it's not possible to know how you feel after things like that, by the way. Of course I fucking know that. It's adrenaline most of the time. Like, of course I know that shit. But the concussion you could see if you do an eye check and shit, and like, I don't know, if I could walk and vibe, like there was no crazy visible injuries. Guys, I felt going like 8 miles an hour. So like, I knew that it wasn't a crazy serious injury. But the next day, I literally woke up and I was like, ah! Oh my God, I was like, ah! And then like, I was calling Pookie, right? And also guys, funny fucking story. After I got the accident, I knew she would probably be upset if I didn't tell her what happened. And so I was like, oh my God, got in a little accident. Here are the little cuts. Kind of looks crazy, but cool, I'm okay. And then she replied and she's like, I thought she was gonna be like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? What the fuck? No. She said, good morning. I'm having a wonderful day. So happy. Yippee. I just didn't even acknowledge what happened, the accident. I was like, okay, right. She just probably ignored what that was or something. And so then I was like, right. She wasn't zooted, guys. She just was busy that day, I guess. And so she didn't reply to that one. And then in my head, I was like, you know what? This just taught me, if I ever have something seriously bad happen to me, she would be the last person I would ever fucking tell, because what the fuck? And then we were gonna hang out in the morning, so I woke up, and then after that, she was like, I saw the messages from her right when I woke up of her going like, wait, what? What the fuck? What the fuck? Are you okay? What the fuck? And then I was like, there it is. It only took like 12 hours, but there it is. And then she calls, and then she's like, what happened? Are you okay? And then I told her, I was like, I would never tell you if something bad happened to me when it happened. Like, what the fuck? And she was like, no, I was just busy because, all in the plumbing, blah, blah. I'm like, it's okay, but girl, if you're just busy and something happens, that's not gonna cut it if I'm drowning. And she's like, yeah, but no, it wouldn't happen again. I'm like, girl, I think I would have to message Hami, because I don't know if that's a good idea. You got the good old anyways, like, whoa, yeah. Crazy ass thing to say, dude. I was like, she probably didn't see it. Next day, what the fuck? Yeah, it was really funny. Yep, really funny. The delay, and that's what I mean. It's like, that's okay if you're busy, but like, I'm not gonna call somebody who's always busy if I'm stuck in a trench, because what is that gonna do for me? If I have one call left before my phone dies, I can't call the person who's gonna be busy. I gotta call the person that can fish me out. I'm reliable. Oh, not the scuba. Homie, are you reliable? It's a 50-50. What about a better chance than asking the Discord? Well, yeah, of course. Like, every time something goes wrong, I message the Noombas before, like, anybody else. Like, the time I had, what was it? We needed to jumpstart Homie's car. And then we didn't have enough connection to call anything, but for some reason, it let us go on Discord. And I was like, anybody know how to fix a car in here? Listen, there's 30,000 Noombas in a group chat, okay? There's 30,000 of you. One of you has got to be a mechanic. And it usually works out. You do love asking us for, well, yeah, 30,000 Noombas. One of you guys has to have the profession that I need in that moment. And it always ends up happening. There was like 5 of you around and you guys like, yeah, just do this and this and this. And I was like, period. I got to use my resources. Yeah, but then the next day I was in deep fucking pain. And I was like, ow. And then I was just taking Tylenol and stuff, but then I was like, yeah, this isn't enough. I'm still in deep fucking pain. And so then the next day, I was like, Dad, should I go to the hospital to see if I'm okay so I can get pain meds? And he was like, we could go tomorrow if you feel bad. And I was like, okay, let me ask Noombas. And then I asked you guys, and I was like, guys, do you think I should go to the urgent care? And you guys were like, yes? What the fuck is wrong with you? Go. And I was like, oh, fine. And then I decided to call the doctor first to see if I could just get the meds. And then the nurse that answered the phone was like, you got in an accident 2 days ago and you never went to urgent care? And I was like, no. And she was like, right. So we have procedures for this. Are you in pain? And I was like, yes. And then she was like, do you feel like this and this and this? And I was like, yes. No, yes. And then afterwards, she's like, you need to go to urgent care right now. You need to make sure that you're okay. And then I was like, well, I was like asking Michi, I was like, what should I do, cold or hot? And then she's like, well, maybe you should use a heating pad. And I was like, okay. And then I told the nurse, I was like, I use a heating pad. And she was like, oh no, that's no good. You're not supposed to do that when you first get it. You're supposed to do that 4 to 5 days after. You use ice packs first and then the heat packs. And I was like, right. Okay, so I just did everything wrong. Right. Okay. Like, right. Listening to her. I was on the phone with her. I know she goes to the doctor a lot, so I'm assuming maybe she knows. I don't know. Fuck. Asking Michi when nurse Chinese a call away. She was working. She couldn't answer me. She was working. I know a nurse, but she was fucking working. She was fucking working. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to fucking do? God damn! Anyways, she was like, I recommend somebody drives you to urgent care. And I was like, right. And so I go over to Holmes and I was like, Holmes, I'm going to go to urgent care. They said that somebody should drive me, but like, I feel fine. So I'm just going to drive myself. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's like, are you like really? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll see you later. And he was like, are you sure you don't need just like a friend to make sure you're, and I was like, no, I'm good. And he was like, okay. And so then I drove, and then as I was driving and turning my head, I was like, turning my head kind of sucks right now. Maybe I should have had him drive me, bro. But then I get to the urgent care and I go there, but I didn't know if I was at the urgent care. So I go up to this guy and he was like, there's a big ass mosquito here. And I was like, please no, I've had a hard enough day. And he was like, oh, I'll kill it. And I said like, all right, man, is this urgent care? And he said, yes. I was like, okay, can I go to urgent care? And he's like, yeah. And then he tells me where to go, and then I see my name on the sign, and it says that I should be waiting 30 to 45 minutes. And I said, well, good thing I brought my Steam Deck. I sit my tushy down, and the second that happens, they're like, Numiana. And then I said, oh my god, that was so fast. And she's like, I know, I'm gonna need you to pee in this cup. And I was like, right. But she shows me where my room is, and y'all, I recognize this room. The room, oh my god, vivid detail of the specific wall that I stared at when I got a shot up my ass when I had an allergic reaction all those years ago. I told the woman, I was like, oh my god, I was in this room. And she said, oh wow, positive memories, I hope. I said like, no, I did get a shot up my ass. And she was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, but like, I'm okay now. And she's like, okay, can you pee in this cup? And I said, okay. And so I was sitting there for like 5 minutes because I like peed before I left. So I was trying to think. I was like, waterfalls, lemonade, waterfalls, lemonade. And then I finally peed. And then I gave it to the lady. And then afterwards, I'm sitting there. And then the doctor comes in and she's like, I was going to say sorry for making you wait so long because I was busy with another patient. But then I saw you have a Steam Deck. She got it. She understood. I said, period, girl, you get me. And so She's like squeezing my head to check if I have a concussion. And then she touches my shoulder and I was like, ouch. Ouch. And then she's like, all right, you could have sprained your shoulder. And I was like, right. Okay. And then she says, let's get you some x-rays. And then I've never gotten x-rays before. So this is very exciting. I walk over to the x-ray area and then the guy's all like, you get like a little wrist bracelet thingy. And I was like, oh my God, wow, I feel really cool right now. And he's like, wow, really? Yeah. First time for everything. It's really quick and easy. I said, period. So I go to this little waiting room. And then this really excited guy, he's like, oh, Numi, come right this way. And I said, wow, this is so cool. I didn't imagine it looking like this. I thought it was like the MRI scanner from Final Destination that killed that guy and sucked him into it. And then he like died. And the guy was like, oh, no. Yeah, no, that's like different. No, this one's just, no, this is different. I said, oh, right. Okay. I get the x-rays taken and then I end up sitting for like an hour playing Fields of Mysteria because it took a long time for them to, I guess, look at my x-rays and shit. They call me in and then they give me the pain medication. And I was like, yippee. And then she said, no broken bones, nothing wrong. You're just going to have some, like, your muscles are going to be in pain because they weren't used to it. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I assumed. And the headache was probably from a lack of sleep, which was also what I thought. But as you guys said, it's better to be proven wrong than proven right when it comes to things like that. Better safe than sorry, yeah. At least I went and figured it out there. Yes. I'm finding it. And then I go over to the pharmacy and they prescribed me with muscle relaxers and a pain reliever, which I'm apparently not supposed to take together. And I said, okay. So I get home and then I take the pain reliever immediately. And then I think for a good 30 minutes, I was in a euphoric state. For like 30 minutes. I was like, wow. Vibes, wow. And I was like sinking into my couch. I was like, wow. Oh, actually, Numbers, let me get it for you and tell you what it's called. It's called Flexeril and Ultram. Tramadol. I got the good shit. And Tramadol is the one that is the pain reliever, and then the muscle relaxer is called Flexeril or cyclobenzaprine. Yep, that'll do it. But yeah, it lasted for like 30 minutes, the euphoric feeling, and then I felt like fine again. But like, despite the fact that the euphoric feeling left, I just felt no pain, and so I was just laying there. I was like, vibe. Oh, thank God, no more pain. Yes. Am I okay? Yeah, girl, I just got into a little motorcycle accident on Sunday. And then I took the muscle relaxers before bed because they recommended that, right? And so I take the muscle relaxers and I was like, wow, I want to, and then I just knocked the fuck out. And then I wake up on Wednesday. That's when I had a stream, right? But it said to take it 1 to 3 times a day. And so I was like, well, maybe they said 1 to 3 times a day. So that means I have to take it during the daytime too. Okay, let me take it. I take it during the day. I don't even remember what happened on Wednesday, Noombas. I slept the whole fucking day. I think I woke up to tell you guys that the muscle relaxers got my ass, and then I fell back asleep. I don't even know if I made an announcement or anything, but I just died until like nighttime, and then I slept again, and then I woke up, and I was like, holy fuck, and it was like the next day. I woke up, said I was late, and then I died. Right, okay. Yeah, so it killed me. Noombas, like, Noombas, it's gone. But anyways, guys, the motorcycle video is probably going to be delayed until I get my license. But I was back to riding it last night. Homie and I rode to get some gifts for my mom because it's my mommy's birthday today. Yay! And they asked me if I wanted to retake the course since I had to go home because the way that I fell ended up misaligning. It knocked my motorcycle out of alignment, so I couldn't finish the course. And they're like, you have 60 days to take the course again. You only have to do the second day. And I was like, okay. In my head, I was like, fuck that shit. I'm just going to take the fucking test. Because if you get endorsed, you don't have to take the driving test. You just have to take the written test. But then I looked it up, and in the state of California, you don't even need it to take the test, period. You just have to take the driving test. And I was like, what the fuck? And the driving test is like 5 minutes. So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm just going to take the driving test. What the fuck? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to take the driving test because instead of taking a 6-hour class, I would rather just take a 5-minute test. My motorcycle is not actually qualified as a motorcycle. I only need an M1 license to drive the bike that I have. It is an automatic. The 12-hour courses are for people who drive a manual. Yeah, and I did have to tell Pookie what bike I actually got so that she wouldn't be as scared for me. Going more than 30 miles per hour is your weakness? You would think, but actually, no. I was going that fast yesterday night with Hami because our bikes got fixed, and so I just went back on it, and then we went to the store to get stuff for my mom, and I was like, period. And I was careful around the stops. Yeah. Because like I said, this bike can't even go faster than 40 miles an hour. So I'm just trying to get my M1 license. Yep, you learn from your mistake. But I am safe. The accident may have made it so my right side of my body is in pain, but that's what the pain meds are for. Well, hey friends, how's it going?
It's going. I'm chilling.
How are you?
I'm doing a lot better after the accident.
What happened?
Well, I fell
bent over. Is that why you're bent over and your hands holding your skirt up? And
Well, I got in the motorcycle accident on Sunday.
That's true, you did.
And then now I feel a little better. But I'm just like
laying.
laying.
I had a motorcycle accident, and then I had to put on this red dress and this shirt, so I
had to bend over a little bit.
I had to bend over. My legs are just kind of like on the ground.
Wasn't that day 2 of the motorcycle?
Yes, I mean, but it was
making compensation.
Did you know that 60% of people die?
It's actually 80.
Motorcycle. Oh, 80. Oh, it went up. That's good.
Do we have to talk about this? What's going on?
Your motorcycle?
Is this your midlife crisis cycle?
No.
Dude, my dad had a motorcycle and almost died on that shit. Be careful, please. Were you wearing a helmet?
I was, and that's what saved me.
Good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, actually, when I was taking the online course, the whole entire thing, literally the whole thing is like, yeah, you're probably like gonna die, and you have to acknowledge that. And it's like literally like, do you acknowledge that? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like the next one is like, make sure you acknowledge the fact that you could die, and if everything happens, you have to assume that everybody's trying to kill you. And we're like, yes, okay. And then that's literally the
Especially
course.
in LA.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, hopefully you don't do that.
I'm glad
Hopefully
you're
the
alive.
huzz are worth
Would you be
it,
sad?
Yes, Numi, I'd be fucking sad. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm sorry. I was just wondering. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're the 4th of July.
Dumbass question, like a dumbass decision to drive a motorcycle.
Well, listen. It's not a motorcycle.
Okay.
Okay, what is it then?
What is it, like a motor-powered
Like
scooter?
a moped?
Like a Razor?
Vespa?
Well, like it was gonna be like a little surprise, but yeah, it's probably one of those. It's an automatic. It can only go 40 miles an hour.
Razor scooter?
Yes.
Yes.
It's 150 cc. You want to see? I have a picture. Do you guys want to see it?
Yes!
Yeah, I want to see a little Razor scooter. Okay, I'm okay with a Razor scooter.
Well, mainly.
Can I also
So the
make a
reason.
request
Yes. What's
that
up?
you get your helmet painted like one of those little propeller hats and get a propeller attached to it?
That'd be really freaking cute, actually. Yeah.
It would be really fucking cute.
So the reason why I wanted it was because this was Hami's dream car, and so we're making it a cute little thing.
They're so cute!
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I want one of those. What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I only better see you driving it down your road, and that's it.
Well, I mean, I was gonna drive it to like the grocery store sometimes.
I feel
Can
like
you drive this on a highway?
No, you can't.
No.
Man.
There's like,
What do you mean,
I
man?
feel like
I would
this is
drive it on a
better than what
highway.
I thought it was. I thought
Okay,
you
yeah,
were
this
like
is better.
on like
This
a
is
big
better.
proper, like a big, like
Hell fucking no.
heavy
Hell fucking no.
Motorcycle.
Hell no. That's why I'm telling people. Everyone's like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, I promise you guys, it's like, I can't even go far on it. Like, it's like, I can only go in like neighborhoods and shit with this.
Thank God. Okay, that's different.
Yeah. Like when
I rescind my comments.
yeah. So I'll go like, the farthest I would go is like you know, 10 minutes to my dad's house. Like that's the kind of shit that we'd be doing. Yeah. Like I can't.
That's fine.
Not allowed to go on highways. It can't go over 40 miles an hour. I think 45 is pushing it, but like that's
Guys,
it.
I'm gonna explain to you what it looks like. It looks like a Razor scooter. It has pink glittery wheels, and then it also has like the lesbian / gay flag on the front, and it like is really big.
I was
That
gonna
was Tommy's.
say-
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Right, by the way.
That was
Sorry,
Tommy's,
wrong
not
one.
mine. That was
the other
actually
one.
Tommy's.
The other one is also red and pink, and then it also
Yeah.
has like a purple bow on it, and
That one was mine.
And the wheels are glittery as well.
Yeah.
And I see
reminds
panties hanging off the handle of it.
Well, I
But
just had an
but
extra
it
pair.
is a Razor scooter.
It was an extra pair.
For when Numi like
Oh,
If I accidentally go boom boom, you know,
take it with it.
I accidentally poop yourself.
I go boom boom in my
I go
pants.
boom boom shit myself.
Yeah.
I go boom boom clap.
Have you guys seen Fully Koi?
Yes.
It reminds me of that.
Yeah, that's like one of the inspirations for us.
That's why I like it so much. Then I always love that shit.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, I can't get on the fact that I go boom boom clap. Oh.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate this 10 out of 10 stars, and give love to Bao. I have something super insane to share with you guys. Something super cool. Stoneforge literally turned my demonic energy into a whole PC setup. Feast your eyes on Numi PC. The colors, the flames, the swag. The setup is so dangerously pretty. It's actually unfair. If your setup doesn't have this swag, what the heck are you doing, man? My official collab with Stoneforge releases on June 14th. So, yeah, prepare yourselves for this gorgeous release. Woohoo! Yeah!